It's the feeling.
For Total Home Pest Control, who are you going to call?
Call the Bug Man, 923-BUGS.
For total pest control for your home or business, call the original Salvant.
Call the Bug Man today, 923-BUGS.
Exiles from what you ask? Exiled from the radio. But now, we're on your television.
I'm Bill Perfita, he's Kevin Gallagher, and they kicked us to the curb.
But we're back.
We are back with Exiles Television on the Pelican Broadcasting Network. We're going to bring you the newsmakers. We're also going to take your calls and give you great information. It's going to be the best damn radio show on television.
Look for it on your cable system or download the app, PelicanSportsTV.com.
Eric Gaylord is back, but where has he been?
I read on the internet that guy was abducted by aliens.
Rated
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Hello and welcome to our midweek edition, hour one of today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show. Here's hoping that all is well with you and yours since last we had the opportunity to spend some time together. Before we get into the meat of the matter for today's show, be advised it is day 2 of a heat advisory for folks here in South Louisiana and all around the Pelican viewing area, with the exception of St. Mary Parish. I guess they're special in St. Landry Parish, St. Mary Parish. Don't have to worry about heat advisory. The feel-like temps today, anywhere from 104 to 108 degrees. And of course, with our ungodly humidity here in South Louisiana, this is not our first rodeo, so you know how to govern yourselves accordingly. Obviously, if you work out of doors, if you have to be out of doors today, hydration is the key word that you want to keep in mind. May not be a bad idea if you go to your favorite health website and refresh your memory as far as signs for heat stroke, things of that nature, just to kind of give yourself a refresher course, because it will be dangerously hot as we work our way through day 2 of this heat advisory for all our local areas, with the exception of St. Mary Parish. Got to find out what those folks in St. Mary are doing, and maybe we can import some of that here to East Baton Rouge. Since, say again, Marty? Oh yeah, all that water. Okay. We start today's show talking about the latest evolution or de-evolution, depending on your point of view, with our approach to dealing with COVID-19 and this worldwide pandemic. Starting today in Jefferson Parish, by emergency order of the parish president, Cynthia Shang, everyone is now required to wear a mask in public. Only exceptions here: 1, if you are 2 years of age and under, and second exception, if you go into a restaurant to eat, you must have a mask to gain entry into the restaurant. You can remove it to eat, but after that, you've got to mask back up again. Jefferson Parish now joins Jacksonville, Florida, St. Augustine, Florida, in the no shoes, no shirt, no mask, no service. You know, for years, you'd walk into a business and you'd see the sign as you're coming in: no shoes, no shirt, no service. Well, that's now been expanded, at least in Jacksonville, Florida, St. Augustine, Florida, or St. Augustine, whichever you prefer, and here in Louisiana in Jefferson Parish. No shoes, no shirt, no mask, no service. I found it interesting that the parish president said that no one will go to jail for not wearing a mask. And yet they are still working out who is going to enforce this, whether it will be the parish government of Jefferson Parish or if it will be the Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office. Obviously, this is an attempt to nudge people to wear masks at all times outside of your immediate home. But I found it interesting, and I had not thought about this until I wish I could recite the name of the person that said this, pointing out the hypocrisy here, how in many Democrat-led areas, they are now mandating that you wear a mask in public. And yet, these are the same people who justify abortion on demand by saying, my body, my choice, meaning this is a woman's body. You have no right to tell her what she can do with her body. Well, if you take that argument to the logical conclusion and apply it certainly to this case, is it not my body and you are now telling me what I have to do with my body? Some of y'all not going to get that till later in the day. That's okay, as long as you get it at some point. My body, my choice. That is the rationale behind providing abortion on demand. But coronavirus, well, that's a little different story altogether. Just a little something to make you go, hadn't thought about it in that regard. Well, maybe we need to. Meanwhile, a lot of you all are not gonna like what a professor of epidemiology at Louisiana State University is recommending. According to Professor Edward Trapito, who is a professor of epidemiology, he says if it were up to him, college sports would not return to LSU at this time. Quote, certainly if it were to happen now, no, it's just too big a crowd. Professor Trapito, by the way, is assisting the university in finding apps that can track and trace positive coronavirus cases through the community. He and his colleague, Suzanne Bourgeois, cite a possible, quote, coronavirus nightmare if college football were to return to Death Valley. Ms. Bourgeois, quote, I just don't feel it would be feasible. Realistically, a logistical nightmare. Now, you probably already know the argument here. Even attempting to, quote, social distance in a place like Tiger Stadium, playing football anywhere near September, October in Tiger Stadium is going to be deathly hot in that stadium. Additionally, even if you mandate and get people to abide by the 6-foot distance, you're still going to have, let's say, 25% occupancy would be for Tiger Stadium about 20,000 people, 25,000, whatever, not including tailgating folks and the rest. It's a football game. Folks are going to be screaming, they're going to be cheering, and if you know anything about the human body and the physiology thereof, when you're screaming, yelling, shouting, you obviously exhale with much more force than you do when just simply normally breathing. So you are aerosolizing whatever it is in your body and projecting it even further when you're engaged in something like cheering and things of that nature. So the more I start to think about this, and I understand the argument. I was there for a long time, that we need football, not only from a psychological and emotional standpoint, some semblance of a return to normalcy, but there's also the economic aspect there. How many colleges and universities, football is the lifeblood. You take into account Louisiana State University is one of just a handful of schools that are self-sufficient in their athletic department. And it's one of a handful of schools where you're actually turning a profit and able to give money to other parts of the university by what you generate from football. But all that being said, I am really, really starting to wonder if football is a realistic proposition at this point. Keeping in mind, here in Louisiana, we are not going to know whether or not we go to phase 3 for another 3 weeks or so. Realistically, you're talking the 1st of August. And to conduct training camp, work out all the logistics therein in a month, quite honestly, I don't see that happening. I guess if there's any silver lining to all of this, it is going to make us all take a step back and a deep breath and thoroughly analyze our addiction and preoccupation with sports. I never thought I would arrive at a point where, quite frankly, if push came to shove, I could do without football. And this is from a guy who, in some 40 years of broadcasting, has been blessed to host TV shows for legendary figures in sports. Dale Brown hosted his TV show. Eddie Robinson hosted his television show. Pete Richardson hosted his TV show. Roger Cador hosted his show. Greg Martin, baseball coach at Southeastern, hosted his show. Black College Sports USA, the first syndication nationwide, focusing on HBCUs, co-hosted that show. But at the end of the day, when all is said and done, I'm still a realist. And looking at the numbers and how we've behaved so far, I just don't know if it is a realistic proposition. So as we head to our first break, I'd love to hear from you. 225-831-1029 will get you aboard. Mandatory wearing of face masks in public. Is this the ultimate in hypocrisy? Does it go completely against the my body, my choice argument? And at the end of the day, as it stands right now, based on what you've seen, based on what you know, are we going to have football? And if we do, will you go? Call me up. Time to talk. 225-831-1029 will get you aboard. I don't know, y'all. Just when I start thinking, okay, we'll get a respite, we're going to be able to pull this thing off, then as soon as we take that one step forward, we take 2 steps backwards. Realistic or not? Tell you what, let me get my first break of this hour out of the way. We'll do that, and then we will talk with you right where you've got it on the Wednesday edition of the Clarence Buggs Show here on the Pelican. Stay close.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wages wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-778-4345. 800-778-4345.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Contea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Contea, your Italian dining will change forever.
Hi, gang. Clarence Bugs here. Cox Cable is upgrading the signal from the Pelican, but to catch us, you're going to have to tune in now to a new number. Acadiana, New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Gramercy, Lutcher. Check your guide for details.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing. You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day. Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
Welcome back to our first hour of the Wednesday edition of the Clarence Bug Show. Talking with you this morning about these new mandatory masking orders that are starting to pop up across the country and here in Louisiana, for that matter, as well. For those of you that are not aware, starting today in Jefferson Parish, anywhere outside of your immediate home, it is mandatory that you wear a mask. Now, for those of you saying, well, Clarence, how am I going to eat with a mask on at a restaurant? Well, that is the lone exception, unless, of course, you are ages 2 years of old or younger. Is this an overreach of government's responsibility? You know, I was thinking about this last night, and one of the reasons why Parish President Cynthia Shane decided to issue this emergency declaration, one of the reasons is that they set up a hotline in Jefferson Parish for people to call and report businesses and individuals that were not wearing masks and adhering to social distancing. They anticipated getting 30 or so odd calls in that regard. The number of calls overwhelmed them. 500 people calling in, reporting they're not social distancing, they're not wearing masks over here, y'all need to do something about this. Well, as an individual that caters to personal responsibility and accountability, if I go someplace and see that they are not practicing safe practices, whatever they are, COVID-19 related or not, I then decide whether I as an individual want to frequent that business or not. I don't rely on government or anyone else to protect me from this. Now, I understand full well some of y'all need to be governed. You don't possess the discipline, the common sense to take care of yourself. And as a result, You've heard me say it God knows how many times. When you fail to govern yourself, you consent to be governed. And it's blatantly obvious in this case. I can't tell you the number of times I've lost track now where I've gone to a business and I'm either walking in the door or I'm inside already, and I go, whoa, these folks aren't really serious about protecting themselves or me. And I immediately turn around and leave. Now, I understand the train of thought that, well, Clarence, you got to understand, young people don't think like that, and they go out and become infected with it, and then they give it to us older folks, and we are the ones that are most vulnerable. Well, I understand that train of thought, but at the same time, I as an individual deserve the freedom to be able to say, if this looks like whatever it looks like to me, I have the right not to patronize that business and protect myself. And let's be honest about this. For every one individual you find that swears masks are the solution, you will find another that will tell you, yeah, you may as well wrap your head in duct tape, you know, and put Kleenex in your nostrils and wrap your head up and go, you'll be better off. I will leave to you to decide the validity of the argument. But it is just amazing to me how we have arrived at a point where we can justify one thing, abortion, my body, my choice. But we completely ignore that when we talk about COVID-19. Is it not still my body? And is it not still my choice? Makes you wonder, is that the ultimate in hypocrisy? Now, at the same time, you got to be prepared for the arguments that you will inevitably encounter on the other side. Yeah, but you got to understand, Clarence, when it comes to choice, a woman getting pregnant is not going to infect somebody else. I get that. But the core of the argument remains my body, my choice. It's, sadly for me, treading on some very shaky ground, because the Constitution was written such that it should apply to all in all instances. And once we start making, quote, exceptions because of you fill in the blank here, then we are courting a recipe for disaster. Marty, were you trying to tell me something or show me something a moment ago? Ah, okay, you sent it to me? Okay, fantastic, fantastic. You've got to also wonder, just send it email or text it? Picture, okay. You've got to wonder what this 4th of July is going to look like. Typically, you know the routine, mass gatherings at home, mass gatherings for fireworks shows, concerts, the whole nine. What is the gist of it, Marty? Can you tell me that?
Well, it's going to be a TV special. They're still going to have the fireworks show, but no levy viewing.
Okay. And for those of you wondering what I was talking with Marty about just now, WBRZ has for, God, I don't know how many years now, hosted 50? Wow. 50 years WBRZ has hosted fireworks on the levee. And of course, tens of thousands of people show up. Well, this year, it will be TV only. That, of course, and, you know, the folks that are there, and they will be out on the barges in the river shooting off the actual fireworks. So that has fallen by the wayside. And as an additional point, what are you doing for the 4th? How are you approaching this 4th of July? For me, it doesn't matter whether they're fireworks or not. I mean, my father, you know my story, lifelong service in the military. So for me, every morning I wake up and I'm still in America, I'm celebrating the 4th of July. Yeah, with all our problems. Clarence, how can you celebrate the 4th of July when we had slavery? Do we have it now? Yeah, but how can you celebrate the 4th of July when people like you weren't considered when they wrote the Constitution? Did we change it? Well, yeah, they changed it, but you know, how can you celebrate all this? I can celebrate all this because with all of our flaws, with all of our shortcomings, we rectified the wrongs. You know, you would think, in talking with some people, that we've not done anything to change the wrongs in America. You know, another point aside, just last night, for whatever reason, Black History Month fell on my mind. And again, for whatever reason, I started thinking about how in black churches and programs and things of that nature during Black History Month, we inevitably, well, y'all, because I've long since stopped doing it, I no longer sing "We Shall Overcome." Because I had to honestly ask myself, what have we not overcome in this country? Can I vote? Well, yeah. Can I get an education? Yeah. Can I run for office? Yeah. Can I own a business? Yeah. Can I work in whatever chosen profession I decide to make the sacrifice and become qualified to work in? Well, yeah. So, in essence, we have overcome. It is insulting because inevitably what ends up happening when we sing, "We shall overcome someday," in essence, what we are telling ourselves subliminally is that we are less than everybody else. We are less than who we actually are. We have black mayors, black governors. Hell, we had a black president. But we still sing, "We shall overcome." Now, for those of you saying, "Yeah, but Clarence, we ain't overcome racism," newsflash, hoss, you never will. The only way to wipe out racism is to live your life in such a manner that the racist sees the error in their way of thinking. You know, old Uncle Bubba told me all black people are lazy. But that can't be right, because every time at work when the boss asks the question, "Who wants overtime?" by the time he says if I don't raise my hand, the black guys have already raised their hand for overtime. So apparently what Uncle Bubba told me wasn't right. I shouldn't think that way because I see different. You cannot legislate that. You can't legislate morality. And at the end of the day, y'all, pure and simple, the best way to change a person's thinking is to show them through your example the error of their ways. You can sit there and scream and holler all day long. You can pass all the laws you want. It's not going to change what's in a person's heart. In many instances, it is a learned behavior. Just like they can learn their behavior is wrong by simply watching how you live your life. Who's holding for me, Marty? James. All right, James, do me a favor. Hang in there with me if you can. Let me get this break out of the way. What are you doing for the 4th? How are you going to deal with this? Is it ultimate overreach by government now mandating all these areas? You must mask up when out in public. 225-831-1029. James, you kick us off when we come back with more of Hour 1 of our Wednesday edition of the Clarence Bugg Show here on the Pelican.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
For total home pest control, who are you going to call?
Call the Bug Man, 923-BUGS.
For total pest control for your home or business, call the original Salvat.
Call the Bug Man today, 923-BUGS.
They said I could find you here. Why are you fishing? Our company's got to ship out 2 full color brochures and 20 color copies. You're killing me.
It's done. Designed, printed, packaged, and shipped.
How?
You just got to know the right people. Baker Printing, the printing people.
How come you get to fish in this private lake?
Like I said, you just got to know the right people. You can know the right people too.
Welcome back to hour one of our Wednesday edition of the Clarence Bug Show, talking about more and more locales now. Jacksonville, Florida, St. Augustine, Florida, here in our beloved Louisiana, now Jefferson Parish, mandating you must wear a mask in public. Anywhere outside the confines of your immediate home, you cannot enter a business, nor can you shop in a business unless you have a mask on. Is this government overreach of the highest order? Or are you one of those that's comfortable with the government mandating us to do something they're not comfortable with if it tamps down on the spread of COVID-19? And as it stands now, you can flip a coin whether or not we're going to have football this year. As it stands right now, do you think we're going to have football? Can you do without it? 225-830-1029 gets you aboard. Let's start with James. James, good morning, and how are you, my friend?
I'm doing fine, Clarence. I see you talked to my wife last week, Carlene.
Yes, yes. How is she?
She's doing fine.
Fantastic, fantastic.
And what we're going to do for the holiday, we're going to fix a Cuban dish that I used to fix down home when I lived in Florida.
Oh.
And celebrate in the backyard.
Okay. What is the dish, James?
It's called crab slough, where you take put ham and stew and crabs all in a tomato sauce. And boil crabs and clean them first, and then you put it back in it.
Right.
And you cook it about 8 hours.
Whoa. What kind of seasonings do you use on that?
Well, you just like spaghetti sauce.
Uh-huh.
And you make it with that type season.
Interesting.
You boil your crabs in crab boil before you do it.
Okay. Okay, give it that little Cajun, Cuban kind of flair to it. I like that. I like that. Yeah. So is the government overreaching its bounds when they start mandating you have to wear masks anywhere outside of your home, James?
I think they are a little bit there. I think everybody should wear a mask because I don't leave the house unless I'm wearing one.
Right.
Of course, I'm 75 years of age, too.
I was going to say, now you're in that group most adversely affected. I can understand you wanting to protect yourself, or in this case, what are you doing more? Are you protecting yourself, or are you protecting yourself from, or protecting other people from you?
I think you're more protecting other people than yourself.
Uh-huh.
Because if you cough and spray that, cough out,
right,
you're infecting other people. But as far as it getting into you, you're not getting it. The mask's not going to stop that, I don't think.
Yeah. So what does your gut tell you? Are we going to have football this year, James, or is that a pipe dream, my friend?
Clarence, that's not one of my things. I'm probably one of the few people in Louisiana that don't care nothing about football.
I was just about to say, do you realize you have now joined me as a minority, James?
Yeah. I like NASCAR now, but right. that's not NASCAR so bad, too. So.
Gotcha. James, great to talk with you. Tell the missus hi for me, my friend.
Okay, when they used to race NASCAR home race, that was fun.
Yeah.
But now how they do this playoff stuff, I don't understand it.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that in the second hour. James, I got to run. Okay. Thank you, my friend. And James just made me think about something. Miss Cat, I hope you are watching today. And I want you to know you and I are still just like this, okay? We're good. No harm, no foul. I certainly hope you're watching. If not, if you know Miss Cat, tell her Clarence said y'all still good. I just don't know if we are opening a can of worms that we will never get the top back on. And again, I understand at the end of the day, you know me as a conservative, personal accountability and responsibility is the rule of thumb. And when government gets to the point, today it's coronavirus and mandatory wearing of a mask. What is it going to be tomorrow? And some will make the argument, Clarence, we opened this door when we started with hate crime legislation. When we started penalizing people for what's in their hearts, when we start penalizing people for how they think, we then open that door for all sorts of things that at this juncture ends up with the government telling you anytime you step foot out of your house, you have to have a mask on. Even though, and personally, I might, and this is a very slim might, have felt better about government issuing mandates of this sort if they could tell me reasonably how this is going to be enforced. When you come out and say, as the parish president in Jefferson Parish said, now, let me be clear, nobody's going to go to jail for not wearing a mask. Okay, so why do we have the law if we're not going to enforce it equally? Well, if we find out the business is allowing people in, we're going to fine them $500. Well, are you not penalizing one group in favor of another group? Understand, keep in mind, when we start allowing government to dictate laws, rules, regulations based solely upon how it affects other people, let us never forget, laws and rights should only be written and bestowed upon individuals because something is happening that interferes with another right. It should be illegal to discriminate on who can and cannot vote just because of the color of a person's skin. You cannot decide we're not going to let people vote because they haven't reached a certain level of educational attainment. Just because you don't have a degree does not mean you don't have common sense. Just because you don't have a degree does not mean you haven't been staying abreast of the issues and the candidates are running. So to decide We're not going to let you vote because you haven't reached a certain level of educational attainment. You now start stepping on the rights of other people, by the way, who've not done anything to infringe on anybody else's right. Yeah, I wish a lot of us voted smarter, but that's no reason to deny someone the right to vote because they didn't do their due diligence in vetting the candidates. That's as un-American a concept as you will ever encounter. And at the end of the day, I am sorely afraid if we decide in the interest of the, quote, greater good, we're going to mandate that you have to do certain things once you leave outside your door in the interest of, and again, understanding on one hand, you have those that say masks help cut down the spread. On the other hand, you have those that say, yeah, good luck with that, unless you're changing your mask every 20 minutes. And before you change it, you do the hand sanitizer routine to be sure that you're not touching the mask to take it off, put another one on, and simply transferring germs from the old mask to the new mask, and you end up with the dog chasing its tail over and over and over again, then it's really just an exercise in futility. So when all is said and done, I want the right to be able to get in my car and go. And if I decide when I pull into the parking lot of the business, I don't see anybody in there wearing a mask. I don't see anybody in there practicing proper social distancing. You know what? I think I'll keep driving and find another place. But to mandate for me, the minute I step out of my vehicle, I've got to mask up, starts to feel like a severe government overreach. And at the end of the day, you've also heard me coin the phrase, freedoms and liberties encroached upon by government are seldom, if ever, returned intact. Meaning, when we allow, because of whatever the situation is at the moment, government to overreach and take this right away, rest assured, it will be nowhere near as easy to get that right back as it was to lose it. When you willingly give up that right, you're going to have to fight like you know what to get it back, which is why, as a person who loves this country and loves the Constitution, you fight with every fiber in your body to keep the right and not relinquish it to government. Because once you do, as easy as it was for you to say, okay, here it is, it's not going to be anywhere near that easy to get it back. That is just the nature of the beast. And you would think by now, after watching the constant, steady erosion of our basic rights, liberties, principles that we hold dear in this country, you would think we'd have figured that out by now. But I guess there is something to be said about the dumbing down of the population in this country. Fear can be a terrible thing, but it can also lead to an awakening. We have been lulled to sleep in this country, and sadly, we find ourselves now in a situation where those who've been asleep the longest, we are allowing now to make the rules. At the end of the day, personal accountability and responsibility should be the order of the day. But again, when you fail to govern yourself, you are consenting to be governed. Tell you what, I need to get my final break of this hour out of the way. Is this a government overreach, or are you comfortable saying, Clarence, people aren't conducting themselves the way they should, so the government has the obligation to make them? We'll talk more about it after our final break, right here on the Wednesday edition of the Clarence Bugg Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
Hi, Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Exiles from what, you ask? Exiled from the radio. But now, we're on your television.
I'm Bill Profita, he's Kevin Gallagher, and they kicked us to the curb.
But we're back.
We are back with Exiles Television on the Pelican Broadcasting Network. We're going to bring you the newsmakers. We're also going to take your calls and give you great information. It's going to be the best damn radio show on television.
Look for it on your cable system or download the app, PelicanSportsTV.com.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Contea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Contea, your Italian dining will change forever.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
I would buy a ticket at face value to have been in the truck just now. Is Alan in the truck, Marty? Oh, okay. I would buy a ticket to see or to hear Jonathan say, why don't Marty get the bleep out of the way so we can do the rejoin? I was just thinking during the last commercial break, you know, with the 4th of July holiday bearing down on us now, and so many municipalities canceling their mass fireworks shows. Here in East Baton Rouge, for those of you outside the capital city, a lot of municipalities still allow you to buy and discharge your own fireworks. It has been illegal for, God, I don't know how many years now in East Baton Rouge. Not that it ever stops anything. I mean, you get in your car, you drive across the river, you load up on fireworks, you come back to EBR, and you pop your fireworks. That's just been the way it's been for God knows how long. And I've got to imagine that this year, with their cancellation of fireworks on the levee, how many people that have not in recent memory decided to, you know, go across the river and buy fireworks. It's going to be interesting to see how this all works out because, you know, 4th of July and fireworks, the two are synonymous. I mean, the new year, bringing in the new year, and fireworks, they're synonymous. The two go hand in hand. And it's just going to be interesting to see how all of this shakes out before all is said and done. Personally, I was trying to think if I could ever remember someone being arrested for illegally discharging fireworks in East Baton Rouge. I know that if you're concerned about neighbors, whomever, doing whatever with fireworks, you can call law enforcement. They will, quote, investigate it. But it would be interesting to know how those calls are dealt with. If we've ever arrested someone's gone to jail for violating the ordinance against discharging fireworks in East Baton Rouge Parish or any other parish that has, quote, outlawed them for that matter. Knowing full well, I would imagine for every parish that has outlawed the discharging of fireworks, there's another relatively close where you can go and buy them. And this year, it's going to be interesting to see all of this unfold. The problem, again, for me, becomes passing laws that are not enforceable. If the need is there for you to write a law, pass a law, ordinance, emergency declaration, whatever, then it's something that you've got to put energy and effort behind enforcing. Otherwise, people they pay no attention to it. I mean, after all these years in East Baton Rouge Parish of it being illegal to discharge fireworks, it hasn't stopped people from doing it. People still get in their cars and drive to West Baton Rouge, and they load up, and they come back to East Baton Rouge, and they discharge the fireworks. That's just the way it is. And again, why make a law if you're not going to enforce it, or if it is unenforceable? Kind of just, an exercise in futility, spinning your wheels, which inevitably leads to more unnecessary government overreach. When all is said and done, y'all, the key to all of this is simply governing ourselves. And unfortunately, my gut tells me this 4th of July, there's going to be a whole lot more discharging of fireworks and firearms because of the lockdown, the cancellation of live fireworks on the river, and the whole nine. That's going to be a part of what we're going to see. And hopefully, folks will govern themselves accordingly. But if I were you, I would not bet the farm on that. I just wouldn't. It is a part of human nature. It's a part of who we are. And when all is said and done, passing a law is one thing. Enforcing it is something else altogether. So we will see, said Ray Charles to Stevie Wonder, we will see when the rubber meets the road just exactly how we choose to govern ourselves and deal with certain situations. I, for one, am not one who is willing to turn all this over to the government because I'm not capable of governing myself. Is that a hold, Marty?
Franco, Baton Rouge.
Franco in Baton Rouge. Franco, how are you today, my friend?
I'm just fine. Is this Clarence?
Yes, sir. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing? Just blessed, Clarence.
Same here.
Yeah, it's wonderful. I watch your show every day, and you're doing a great job. I just love your intelligence and you just straight to the point, and I just love watching you. I love you. You're just a wonderful person.
Well, thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. So is this government overreach, or is this something that the government should be able to do to mandate, Franco, if you step foot outside of your house, you got to have a mask on?
You know what? I think it should be government mandated, really.
Wait, say that again?
I think it should be mandated by the government.
Mm-hmm.
Because, do you know why?
No.
Because people are not going to do it. I don't think it's going to be enforced that much. The people choose not to do it, which is dangerous. So it necessarily should be done mandatory. So I think the government should step in and make it, legal, make it a law.
How concerned are you that today it's the wearing of masks, tomorrow it may be something else?
Well, I'm concerned because, let's see, there are other things, issues that are just as going on like with the mask issue. So I think if we deal with this, we can overcome this. We can overcome other issues too.
I hope you're right, my friend. Franco, great to hear from you. Thank you, sir. Franco, I agree. And at the end of the day, Franco, maybe it's a part of human nature. Maybe it's just a natural part of the human experience. But when you let individuals have the power to mandate based on what they feel, as opposed to the reality of the moment, my friend, you are wading into dangerous territory. It is kind of like what we're going to talk about in our second hour as we head to the top of the hour break. We have allowed the media, government, political parties to get us to a point now where we just don't know what to do with ourselves. Have you seen recently it was announced, L'Oreal Cosmetics announcing they are going to eliminate from their advertising, their packaging, the words light and lightening, not lightning that comes from the sky, but lightening of your skin tone. They are going to eliminate the words white and whitening from all of their packaging, their advertising, and their products. And you know what the inference here is? White is good, or white is bad, darkening is good. They are eliminating the words white and whitening, light and lightening, in exchange for evening your skin tone. So if I need to lighten a blemish to even my skin tone, I guess I'm just SOL. I'm just plumb out of luck. And criticized for, well, you're marketing your products to a white audience. Does that now mean people like Fashion Fair that cater to black skin products, do they also have to change now and start producing products and advertise to a white audience? How is it we've arrived at a point, y'all, where we firmly believe everything has to be for everybody? The Simpsons, Family Guy, some other animated TV show, they've all decided now, because we are now woke, we will no longer use white people to voice over black characters. Does that also mean that if I'm a black man and I'm very talented, I can do 20, 30 different voices? Does it now mean that I can't do white voices? You see where this goes? Do you see how you see what happens when you start thinking this way? It's an animated character. What do I care about the skin color of the voice of the person behind the character? Am I going to stop watching The Simpsons because Hapu, the guy that runs the convenience store, dark in complexion, well, his voice is white. It's a white guy doing the voice. I'm not watching that crap anymore. Is that what we've become or are becoming in this country? We got to talk, y'all, and we're going to do it after this break. Heading into hour 2 of the Clarence Bugg Show here on the Pelican. Stay close.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Hi gang, Clarence Bugs here. Some big changes are coming to the Pelican and Cox Cable. July 15th, our numbers are changing. We're easier to find and we're in high def. New Orleans, Gramercy, Lutcher, Acadiana, Patterson, Baton Rouge, new numbers coming and a brand new signal. It all happens July 15th on Cox Cable. Do your buddy Clarence a favor, will you? Get all the details by checking your local guide.
For total home pest control, who are you going to call?
Call the Bug Man, 923-BUGS.
For total pest control for your home or business, call the original Salvat.
Call the Bug Man today, 923-BUGS.
Welcome back as we start hour 2 of our Wednesday edition of the Clarence Bug Show. Alan, he's back. Woohoo! And the crowd goes wild. Good to have you back in the truck, buddy. Welcome back. We start this hour talking about just when you think we can't get any dumber, we managed to find a way to prove ourselves wrong. French cosmetic giant L'Oreal announcing this past weekend that they are going to remove words like whitening from their skincare products. The company said in a statement Saturday that, quote, it has decided to remove the words white/whitening, fair/fairness, light/lightening from all its skin evening products. The decision, obviously, in the wake of the George Floyd death following his arrest in Minneapolis. Earlier this month, L'Oreal tweeted that, quote, it stands in solidarity with the black community and against injustice of any kind, adding, quote, speaking out is worth it. So let me follow this to its logical conclusion. If L'Oreal, maker of cosmetics, skincare products, removes light and lightening from their vocabulary, bright and brightening from their vocabulary. Should we also demand the same thing of a black cosmetic company? Because, I mean, you know, we're a country where the laws are supposed to apply to everybody. We're all supposed to be equal. We're supposed to, you know, be cognizant of these things. Meanwhile, The Simpsons, Family Guy, other TV shows now saying, well, we stand in solidarity with Black Lives Matter, and we're no longer going to let white people do the voiceovers for black characters. We have lost it, y'all. We have lost our ever-loving minds in this country. You know, for L'Oreal to do this, as an American who just happens to be a man of color, it's insulting. Because you change or no longer use whitening, I'm supposed to feel better about your product or myself? That is as insulting to me as the concept of affirmative action. Those that say, well, Clarence, you got to understand, we need affirmative action because of all the injustices in the past. No, what you are saying, whether you realize it or not, and in Louisiana, you can say anything about anybody as long as you either preface it or end it with, bless your little old heart. What you're saying, in essence, is black folk are not as smart as white people, and therefore they need a little extra help. Black folk can't do as good as white folk, so we got to give them a little extra helping hand here. That's insulting. People died so that I would have the right to be considered an equal. Well, yeah, Clarence can learn just like anybody else. All he needs is the opportunity. Yeah, Clarence can work just as hard as anybody else. He just needs the opportunity. Don't give me anything other than a shot on a level playing field. That's all I ask for. Because anything less than that, I have not earned it. And at the end of the day, the Constitution and this country is not about me being equal because I was given an advantage over somebody else. Give me the opportunity. Now, what I make of the opportunity, that's on me. That's on me. But to live by a philosophy that, bless their little old hearts, black folk, they can't, you know, they can't learn like white people, so we need to give them an extra advantage. That is insulting to me as a black man. Listen, y'all, my dad did not wear the uniform of the United States Army for 28 years so that his oldest child could be a black news anchor. He didn't wear the uniform for 28 years so that his middle child could be a black talk show host. He didn't wear the uniform for 28 years so that his only daughter could be a black transplant surgeon. We're Americans. And at the end of the day, only thing I want you to give me is an opportunity. I'll take it from there. Marty, is that a hold on one?
Yeah, Mark on one.
Mark on one. Good morning. You're on the Clarence Bug Show. Hey, Mark.
How you doing, Captain?
It's still a great day to be an American, Mark.
I know what you mean. Clarence, do you remember an old saying, don't believe nothing you hear and only half what you see?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I got, what's the most evasive thing in the world?
The most evasive thing in the world?
Yes, sir.
I don't know. What is it?
The truth in totality.
Ouch.
Not added to or subtracted from. And that's what I like about you. You give it the truth all the way down the line.
Well, I try, Mark. I make no apologies for who I am. I am who I am. I'm who and what God made me. And at the end of the day, all I want, Mark, is the opportunity to stand on my own 2 feet. I don't need no help. I don't need no extra consideration. I don't need, to be insulted that I'm not as good as. And if I find out, Mark, in the heat of battle, maybe I'm not as tough as the rest, then that falls on me, Mark, to toughen up and become as tough as the rest. But I don't need government or some political party giving me something extra that nobody else is getting. That's insulting.
But when I grew up, your word was your bond.
Yes.
And it was the truth. You could count on it.
Yeah.
When a man gave you his word, you shook hands on it. That was the end of it. He did it.
Yeah.
Today, nobody can trust what anybody hardly says.
How have we arrived at this point, Mark, and where is all this going to end?
It's not going to end as long as man is only out for the quest for his personal benefit.
But aren't we intelligent enough to see this by now? Or have we been dumbed down to the point, Mark, where we just can't see it?
Everything that you see on television, I'm talking about whether it's CSNBC, CBS, Fox, or whatever,
right.
All you hear is controversy from one side to the other. You don't know what the truth is time you get through listening to a program.
Well, it pains me, Mark, that we don't know what the truth is in this regard. Yeah, we have
well,
our...
The bottom line is this. It's not what you know that hurts you. It's what you don't know.
Well said. Well said, sir. Mark, thank you, my friend. Mark, I tell you what I do know. This country is the greatest experiment in self-governance in the history of humankind. Tell you what I do know, Mark. Yeah, we have our flaws, but at the end of the day, we're still better than anything else out there. And no, we should never stop trying to be better. But if you ever have the opportunity to set foot outside of this country, you very quickly come to the realization that America ain't so bad after all. You know, we not only, Mark, are we engaging in attempting to rewrite history, we're attempting to rewrite reality. And when you allow individuals to do that, my friend, you are heading down a path of which there is no return. There's no return. Marty, on 2?
Yeah.
Visa? V. All right, Visa, do me a favor. Sit tight. Let me bang this quick break out of the way. How do we arrive here? And where is all of this going to end? Or will it? And what does this bode for us as a country? You know, we're supposed to get smarter as time goes by, and we have access to more technology. What is really disheartening to me is that it seems like we're getting dumber every single day. Well, we're no longer going to use the word white or whitening in our products. So let me get this straight, L'Oreal. If I need to whiten to even my skin tone, I guess I'm just out of luck, huh? Well, no, we'll just say it differently. But it's still the same thing. You hadn't fixed squat. It's still the same thing. And at the end of the day, taking this off your packaging, would you really fix? Not a bleep thing. Just saying. Let me get this break out of the way. Visa, sit tight. You kick us off next when we return for the Wednesday edition of the Clarence Bugg Show right here and only on the Pelican. Stay close.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With Private Healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private Healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready. And health insurance is your financial safety net. Health insurance has never been so easy and affordable. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, call the number on the screen now and speak with a live healthcare consultant. Don't wait. Get the coverage you need now.
It says here that Eric Gaylord is back. Now, where's he been?
Well, I was told he had joined the CIA, trying to stop the Russians from stealing our election.
Vodka. Na zdоровье.
Na zdоровье.
3 elections.
That's right, the Clarence Bug Show is back, along with the Exiles, Bill Profita and Kevin Gallagher. We've put the band back together, South Louisiana's talk team, and it's only on the Pelican. 10 a.m. till 12 noon, right here on the Pelican.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Contea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Contea, your Italian dining will change forever.
Welcome back to the Wednesday edition of the Clarence Bug Show. You know, it pains me ever so greatly that we have to continue to have the conversations about race in this country. And it's gotten to the point now in the wake of the George Floyd incident where, bless your little old hearts, white people, y'all just don't know what to do. Y'all don't know what to do. Well, they tell us we need to do this, and they say we need to do that, and the other group says, y'all just bless your heart. You talk about white privilege and all these other things. I wouldn't want to be a white guy to save my life. Y'all truly have my sympathy. You really do. Because the mixed messages out there and the unequal applying of everything in society these days, we're so fixated on race and all things racial, we don't know what to do with ourselves. L'Oreal, if you hadn't heard, skincare giant out of France, announcing, well, we identify with Black Lives Matter, and as a result, we're no longer going to include the words white or whitening on our products. Instead, we're going to only reference evening of your skin tone. So if I need some darker complected cosmetics to even my skin tone, I can't say dark or darkening. They're no longer going to use light or lightening versus lightning. No longer going to use bright or brightening. We're just going to even your skin tone. It's insulting. It is absolutely insulting. Because at the end of the day, if I'm trying to cover a blemish, I'm going to either lighten or darken my skin. Duh! It's insulting. But now, L'Oreal gets to feel better about themselves now. Whew, man, we dodged that bullet, man. You know, we eliminated white and whitening. even though you're still either whitening or darkening your skin. It's insulting. And now black people will say, okay, well, I guess I can consider L'Oreal products now. Horse hockey. You wasn't considering it to begin with. And if we're going to apply all of this equally, I guess they still make fashion fair. In the next commercial break, I'm going to look in my makeup bag. I think I have some L'Oreal products in there. But are we going to also make fashion fair, who caters to black audiences? Are we going to make them start marketing towards and developing products for white people? Thank you, Marty. I'm going to look right now and see. Whoop, there you go, L'Oreal. Right there. True Match. What number is this? SPF 17 sunscreen. Oh, they got to change this. They got to change this. The color, Nut Brown C7. That's that. There it is, right there. Straight out my makeup bag. In case y'all thought I was lying. Got the pressed powder, the mascara, the whole nine, right here in my bag. Nut Brown. So what you saying? Black people are nuts. Brown people are nuts. Is that what you're saying?
What you gonna change to now?
Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna use now, Marty. I don't know. Oh no, but I can use it because L'Oreal. You know, I just have to buy the new package where it doesn't say white or whitening, light or lightening, bright or brightening. Oh, thank you for the patience. Visa, you're up on the Clarence Bug Show. Hey, Visa. Hello, Visa. She's gone. Visa, if you're still watching, call me back. I value your input. I need your point of view. You see how just absolutely ludicrous. I guess I can put my L'Oreal back in the bag now, Marty. You see how stupid all of this becomes? It's, thank you, sir. Oh, they just saw some white arms reach out and grab it. I don't know if we got to fire you, Marty. Yeah, really. Just use some L'Oreal, you know. I understand full well, y'all. Not everyone has the benefit of my experience. Meaning, example, 1st through 5th grade, I went to Southern Lab. At the time, all black school, semi-private school. I'd seen white people on TV, you know, but never regularly interacted with them. Enter 1969, 6th grade. My dad, Sarge, gets stationed overseas again. So we go to Kaiserslautern, Germany, and for the first time, I get to actually meet white people, okay? Only one school on the base. They just built brand new school. So brand new, by the way, that there was no cafeteria in service yet. So we would walk, I guess maybe 3 miles, anywhere 2 to 3 miles to school in the morning. Then we'd walk back home for lunch. Then after lunch, we would walk back to school. And then after school was over, we'd walk back home. And at the time, I had 2 best friends. Charles Brown, who was white, lived in our building, and Bobby Sharp, who was black, who lived in the building across the street from us on base. We all walked together to school, back home for lunch, go grab each other, walk back to school after lunch, walk home together, then to baseball, football practice, whatever sport it was that time of year. When you're in a foxhole, you don't care about the color of the skin of the person next to you. All you want to know is, can you shoot, bro? How's your aim? How's your aim? You need your glasses? Did you put in fresh contacts? That's all I'm concerned about. When orders come through on base and your father is now being shipped out to Vietnam, you don't care about the color of the skin of the person that stops by, knocks on the door, and says, Heard your dad is shipping out for Nam. We're going to be praying for you and the family. You don't care what color they are when they do that. So enter 1971. Return to the United States of America. Sarge called all of his children together, sat us down at the table and said, y'all have a decision to make. We said, okay, this sounds good. What's this all about? My dad said, well, the decision you have to make is where do you want to go to school? Now, prior to returning home, thought it never crossed my mind. I'm going back to Southern Lab. It's where I went 1st through 5th grade. It's where all my friends are. Everybody I know, that's where they go to school. My father said, you just came out of an integrated situation for the first time in life, living on base in Kaiserslautern, Germany, going to school, living with, playing with kids of all races, creeds, and colors. He said, the world is not all black, and you need to continue your education in understanding and knowing how to deal with and appreciate people of all races, creeds, and colors. So you can't go back. Nothing wrong with Southern Lab. It's a great school. But I want you to continue your education in life, in learning how to deal with other races, creeds, and cultures. That's how I ended up at Glen Oaks High School. At the end of the day, the things that really, truly matter are the only things that I care about. When the firefight starts, can you shoot? That's what I care about. Is, oh man, Marty took it back. Is white or whitening on your packaging? I give less than a you know what. Because in the grand scheme of things, how has my life been elevated? How has my existence improved? Because L'Oreal decided we're going to take white and whitening off our packaging. How has that benefited me? And at the end of the day, are we applying this equally across the board? Well, Clarence, you got to understand there's a subliminal effect. When people see white and whitening in the packaging, then, you know, they start to think that white is better than black. Well, that's on you, Hoss. If you are not secure in yourself, if you don't believe enough in yourself to decide, you know what, I'm getting up extra early tomorrow. I want to be the first one. I'm going to beat all the white boys to work tomorrow. If you decide the next time they ask for overtime, my hand going to be the first one to go up. And quite frankly, when you cut to the chase, did L'Oreal harm me in any way, shape, or form by having the words white or whitening on their skincare products? Did they deny me the right to vote? Did they deny me owning a business? Did they deny me getting an education? Did they deny me the opportunity to feel better about who I am as an individual? We all know the answer to that, a resounding no. So how is this benefiting me? Or is it like so many other things we do in this world these days? We put a nice little pretty Band-Aid on it, and oh, we feel so much better. Oh yeah, bro, you're bleeding on the floor. Oh, that's okay, I got a pretty Band-Aid on it. My poor country, my poor country. Bottom of the hour break. Let me get this done. How have we arrived here? And where is all of this going to end? I got a line for you. Grab it. 225-831-1029 will get you aboard the Wednesday edition of the Clarence Bugg Show right here, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
For total home pest control, who are you going to call?
Call the Bug Man, 923-BUGS.
For total pest control for your home or business, call the original Salvant.
Call the Bug Man today, 923-BUGS.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreysstoneCountryClub.com.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing. You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day. Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
Exiles from what you ask? Exiled from the radio. But now we're on your television.
I'm Bill Profita. He's Kevin Gallagher, and they kicked us to the curb.
But we're back.
We are back with Exiles Television on the Pelican Broadcasting Network. We're going to bring you the newsmakers. We're also going to take your calls and give you great information. It's going to be the best damn radio show on television.
Look for it on your cable system or download the app, PelicanSportsTV.com.
Hi, gang. Clarence Bugs here. Some big changes are coming to the Pelican and Cox Cable. July 15th, our numbers are changing. We're easier to find, and we're in high def. New Orleans, Gramercy, Lutcher, Acadiana, Patterson, Baton Rouge, new numbers coming, and a brand new signal. It all happens July 15th on Cox Cable. Do your buddy Clarence a favor, will you? Get all the details by checking your local guide.
They said I could find you here. Why are you fishing? Our company's got to ship out 2 full color brochures and 20 color copies. You're killing me.
It's done. Designed, printed, packaged, and shipped.
How?
You just got to know the right people. Baker Printing, the printing people.
How come you get to fish in this private lake?
Like I said, you just got to know the right people. You can know the right people too.
Welcome back to the Wednesday edition of the Clarence Bugs Show. Forgive me, y'all, I neglected to mention this. And the folks in Slidell and Alexandria, it's a bit too late for you and yours. But the Louisiana National Guard is conducting a series of flyovers today in our state in honor of the frontline responders battling COVID-19. The unit will consist of 4 UH-60 Black Hawk helicopters flying over hospitals in all the regions of our state except Baton Rouge. I can't figure this one out. Maybe we got too many white people in Baton Rouge for them to honor us. I don't know. In jest, y'all. In jest. Don't go to social media and lose your freaking minds. They were scheduled to be in the Slidell and Alexandria areas 30 minutes ago at 11 a.m., actually 34 minutes ago. In Lafayette and Monroe, approximately at noon, Lake Charles, 1:30, and the Shreveport area at 2:30. I may have to make a call or two after the show is over to find out why Baton Rouge was neglected in this flyover. Slidell Memorial Hospital in Slidell, St. Tammany Parish Hospital, and North Oaks Medical Center in Hammond, Lafayette General Medical Center, St. Patrick's Hospital and Lake Charles Memorial Hospital, both obviously in Lake Charles, Christus St. Francis Cabrini Hospital and Rapides Regional Medical Center in Alexandria, St. Francis Medical Center in Monroe, and Ochsner LSU Health and Willis Knighton Health System in Shreveport. No mention of Baton Rouge at all, which is kind of strange considering, you know, how hard Baton Rouge has been hit. Maybe there is some particular reasoning that was not listed in the article that I ran across. But if you see the Black Hawk helicopters around the state today, they are doing flyovers in honor of our frontline responders that are dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic. I guess on a good day, handling a crisis, quote unquote, takes fortitude that many of us as Americans no longer possess. And when you throw in what some would call a manufactured crisis on top of another crisis, you end up putting yourself in a position where you resort to doing things that normally thinking human beings would not do. With the coronavirus pandemic and all that that entails, add to that the death of George Floyd and the obviously, apparently, unresolved issues of race in this country, and we find ourselves doing things that just make absolutely no sense at all. Now, there is a difference between doing something that makes no sense and doing something that has no effect. L'Oreal Cosmetics deciding, you know what? and here's to show you the ludicrousy of all this. L'Oreal Cosmetics is a French company. Okay? Take that for what it's worth. Yeah, but Clarence, they're French. They ain't white. Yeah, if that's your train of thought, you need to reach for the remote because you're not going to get this anyway. You're just not going to understand it. It is beyond the realm of capability of understanding for you. And I don't mean that in a negative way. You are who you are. I am who I am. It is what it is. But for L'Oreal Cosmetics to come out with this big press release and what I can only take at their word is a sincere effort to show their solidarity with the minority community and decide we're no longer going to use the words white or whitening on our packaging. We're no longer going to use the words white or whitening. We're no longer going to use the words light or lightening on our packaging. Whew. Well, I can sleep better at night tonight. I'll sleep a lot better tonight because doggone it, L'Oreal's not using white or whitening anymore on their packaging. All of life's problems should so easily be rectified, right? It's frustrating. You look at us as a human species and you say, you know what? Wow. In my generation, watching my parents and where we are now, we have become so advanced technologically, it's frightening. And at the same time, we've become dumber than a box of rocks. It's frustrating. And it leads one to wonder, not only how have we arrived here, but where is all this going to end? Marty?
Miss Vida.
Ah, Miss Vida. Ah, it's Miss Vida. How are you, Miss Vida?
I'm doing quite well. How are you?
It is still a great day to be an American, dear.
Yes, sir.
What's on your mind?
I was listening to you talk about the Floyd, George Floyd, and you say the things that was done, did it make sense? I didn't understand that.
Yeah, some of the ways we are reacting to this.
What do you mean?
Well,
some of the words that we're reacting because.
Okay, L'Oreal Cosmetics announcing they're no longer going to use the words white or whitening on their packaging for their cosmetics. They're no longer going to include the words bright or brightening on the packaging for their cosmetics. Does Vita care when she goes to buy mascara, blush, lip gloss, whatever? Does she care if the words light or lightning are on the package?
Well, sure. Because if I want something that's not gonna lighten up my skin color, then I'm gonna look for that.
Okay, so if Vita has a dark blemish on her skin,
Right.
and she wants to cover that up, she wants even skin tone,
Right?
she's going to buy a lighter color cosmetic, is she not?
That's right.
So what's wrong with calling it that, if that's what it is?
Oh, there's nothing wrong with it.
My point exactly.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. But I heard you say that the things that went on for the protest for the Floyd, I'm going to introduce myself to you so that you know exactly who you're talking to.
Uh-huh.
My name is Vita Juanesta Washington Sterling. My maiden name is Sterling. I'm Vita Sterling, the auntie of Alton Sterling.
Okay.
Who was killed right here in Baton Rouge,
Uh-huh.
Louisiana.
Right.
So I want to say this, that while the protest was going on, everything that you saw on the news was all live because you saw us protesting and then you all of a sudden see fires coming out.
Uh-huh.
When we had nothing to do with the fire.
Mm-hmm.
We had nothing to do with the fires that was going on.
Right.
You see?
Uh-huh.
But if you look at the news, you'll see us throwing fireballs, fire bottles and fireballs, when that's not true. You see?
I think so. Vita?
And there's a problem. There's a problem in the United States of America with racism. There's a big problem, and it needs to be addressed.
How
But
big?
nobody want to talk about it. Nobody want to address the issue.
Well, we're talking about it in America now, though, aren't we?
You're listening a little bit, but they ain't doing no talking.
Vita?
They're not doing no talking. It's still one-sided when it shouldn't be one-sided.
Got it, Vita. Thank you. Vita, I beg to differ, dear. I beg to differ. Personally, at this juncture, I think white folk ain't doing nothing but listening. We're doing all the talking. Just my opinion, Vita. Just my opinion. At the end of the day, Vita, I am so much more concerned about dying at the hands of somebody who looks like me than I am about dying at the hands of the popo or some random white boy at a red light. Understand something, Vita. Popos ain't doing drive-thrus in my neighborhood. Understand something, Vita. Random white boys ain't doing drive-thrus in my hood. And look at the numbers. The numbers are what the numbers are. The percentage of young black men, unarmed, killed by law enforcement annually amounts to roughly 0.0014%. On the other hand, 40% of the homicides of young black men ages 19 to 34, prime baby-making age, the future of the race, 40% of us annually are killed by each other. You tell me what I, as a black man, should be more concerned about. Let me get this final break of today's show out of the way. We'll talk more. Big old bow, we're going to wrap this puppy up when we come back for more of the Wednesday edition of the Clarence Bugg Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Contea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Contea, your Italian dining will change forever.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
That's right, the Clarence Bugg Show is back, along with the Exiles, Bill Profita and Kevin Gallagher. We've put the band back together, South Louisiana's talk team, and it's only on the Pelican. 10 a.m. till 12 noon, right here on the Pelican.
Hello. Hola. Ni hao.
Experience what the Baton Rouge International School can offer your children. Now welcoming displaced students for short and long-term stability.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Welcome back for the final segment of this Wednesday edition of the Clarence Bugg Show. If you have not been out and about this day, rest assured, it is warranted. Day 2 of the severe heat advisory for folks in the capital region. As a matter of fact, in our viewing area, every parish with the exception of St. Mary Parish, you can expect triple-digit heat indexes. So if you are planning to do whatever out of doors today, make sure that you stay good and hydrated, and that you may want to, go to whatever health website you typically rely on and refresh yourself on the signs of heat distress. We don't want folks falling out and, dying on us. It's not like we don't have enough other stuff out there to worry about. But in the hustle and bustle of your daily routine, just be aware that this is our second day of a heat advisory. We are expecting field-like temperatures of anywhere from 104 to 108 degrees. And if you don't govern yourselves accordingly, there's that phrase again, right, then you could find yourself facing some pretty severe health problems. Y'all, at the end of the day, my sincere hope is that we will go through all of the things that we are going through now. And when all the discussion is over, we will make it a point to focus on the things that truly mean the most, meaning things that are going to truly make a difference and make our lives better. I will be the first to tell you, at the end of the journey, whether or not L'Oreal includes the words white, light, or bright on their packaging is not going to affect me one way or the other. I am fortunate, blessed, if you will. Marty, is that your phone or mine? That's yours? Okay. I am fortunate and blessed to live in a country where if I decide I am going to make the sacrifice, I can be whatever I want to be. If I decide I am going to take full advantage of every opportunity that this country affords me, most of whom are paid for by someone else, then the sky is the limit for me. When all is said and done, I hope that we can start gravitating back toward the ideals and the ideas that made this country great. There was a time in this country where people that looked like me could not get an education. And to show you the forces at work here and how we have allowed them to warp our thinking and our actions. There was a time, not all that very long ago, where people that looked like me could not get an education. So how is it now that we can get an education that we have the highest ratio of individuals that don't want to get an education? Some would argue it is due in large part to the fact that we have allowed government to creep into our lives to the point where they want to be all things for all people and provide everything for everybody. So why do I need to worry about an education when I can have my phone bill, my rent, my food, my clothing, and everything else paid for by somebody else? That's a whole different show for a different day. But at the end of the road, at the end of that journey, we cannot continue as a nation to prosper unless and until every single person is doing their part. There are things in life that you simply cannot legislate. You can attempt to, but at the end of the day, no one other than the individual truly knows what's in the individual's heart. No one. And the only person that can change that is the individual themselves. We are dealing with some things that obviously have an ongoing underlying current to it. And while these things need to be addressed, there is something called context. And I will say again, you can be an individual that is firmly of the belief that racism is the most serious problem facing African Americans in this country. But the fact of the matter is, if I give you the magic wand that wave it one time and you can fix any social ill in America, if you wave that magic wand and automatically eliminate all vestiges of racism, at the end of the day, if I am murdered as a black man, the likelihood overwhelmingly is going to be that I was murdered by another black man. At the end of the day, despite everyone that works having taken out of every single check they make money for a public school system, black folks will still have the least percentage of participation in said institution. Fixing racism is not going to fix those problems. And oh, did I mention those are the problems that are holding us back the most? Do I? Colleen? Okay. Colleen, I've got 60 seconds. They're all yours. Go.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, talk to me quick.
Oh, okay. I was just saying the comments that you made this morning, you're cracking James and I up, and we enjoy your program so much. We look forward to when you're coming on.
Right.
And we enjoy and agree with everything that you say, and you make perfect sense. And we're just enjoying it. And we think you should run for president.
Bless your heart. Colleen, God bless. Have a wonderful day, sweetheart. Colleen, you just made my day. But you do realize, and I don't know how many of you all caught this just now, your biggest problem, Colleen, is just like me. You got common sense, dear. Common sense is something we used to pride ourselves on in this country. But today, I heard a guy say the other day, Clarence, you talk about common sense. I saw common sense getting on the Greyhound bus at the bus station 6 o'clock this morning, waving bye to America. But I guess, hopefully, there are still enough of us around that understand it, appreciate it, and apply it every day in our lives. And all we can do, Colleen, is attempt to do it in such a fashion that others will see the merit in it. I continue to fear for the soul of my country. But every single time I do that, I get a call like Colleen's. And I say, maybe there's hope for us after all. Only time will tell. It will be what it's going to be. I just hope that when that time comes, we can honestly and truthfully say we have exhausted every conceivable avenue, particularly looking within ourselves to make things better. Time's up, y'all, and I gotta go. But again, you're right. America, we are not perfect. But doggone it, for my money, it's the best there is. And God knows there is no place else on his green earth that I'd rather be. Speaking of the good Lord, you do realize that he loves you, right? And I hope by now, even if it's in the smallest of terms, you know that I do too. Then again, there ain't a doggone thing you can do about either one. The Exiles, tomorrow, here. God bless. Let's take care of each other. See you then.